Good afternoon, traders. This is AJ Trader 7 of Awesome Calls Trading. Ozark just made a comment before I started. I just want to thank all of you, all mods, all the members, all the help and teaching throughout. I had a great day with my daughter, my sick daughter. I'm sorry your daughter is sick today, Ozark, but welcome and thank you. Anyway, traders, I want to welcome you to it is November 1st, 2018. I want to thank all of you for joining us this afternoon on this great webinar. We had an absolutely incredible day, and it was really helped by the minute Trump mentioned that he was going to meet with the Chinese people in regards to the tariffs and maybe possibility of the easing up. Boy, let me tell you something. There's 4 stocks you immediately go to the minute. I mean, there's a ton of others, but the 4 stocks that come to mind, there's 2 pretty inexpensive ones and 2 expensive ones. And the minute the tweet came out, which is incredible to the markets, is Baidu and Alibaba. I want you to see these 2 that just exploded. And the option rooms, Levi, Christian, Anthony, Brandy, Jamie, I mean, $10. These guys they just guys and girls, they just ripped it. I mean, they were buying calls, like they were just piling over each other, and they're on Discord, so they talk to one another constantly throughout the day. And it was just incredible calling over there. And Baba, once the tweet came out, it just started to break out. Once it broke out through the pre-market, it just took off. This was a great trade, perfect example of the effect of positive tariff newses. So Fire just gave an alert in the room. We have to stop. Whenever he speaks, we listen. So this is a trade he just gave. He's got more room to go. He's been on this trade since this morning. NXPI, he likes it. And now he's got room to 86.52 is the alert. So he's letting traders know to keep an eye on it, that he's continued to walk it up. So thank you, Fire. So Alibaba and Baidu, as you can see, obviously I wish I could have kept my 181 my 181 long when I gave it to you the other day. Now 200, that would have been a 20-point trade. So, and the other 2 that come to mind are we love to trade in here is Bizon, and we love to trade in Momo. These 2 are side by side. We love them. The minute how the breakout goes, you just go long, and you just long and strong. You don't need to worry about anything. It's a 5-point trade here. And Momo, we gave the alert at 34 and went to 36. So each of these gave about 4 to 5 points to the upside. Because once they get going, they just run. And a lot of traders can't afford Baidu and Alibaba in the equity side of the room. So we just go long these type. And all you really want to look for is to break out from pre-market. And once it kind of gets over that, you're long here at 41, stops at 40.50, and just let it rip. And you just be patient. If you're on something like this, you would take a half position and then sell quarter to quarter on the way up. Momo, same thing. I probably would have waited a little bit more here to go long for me. Some traders probably would have went here, but the buyers were coming in pretty solid here, so I like to get the breakout at 34.50 and then just run it to 36. That way I could take a decent size on it. Again, half position would have been fine. And same with Alibaba and Baidu. So congratulations to everyone in Awesome Calls Trading that took those as soon as the tweet came out. Also, I want to give you an update on the NEO trade. As you can see, everybody's talking now. The whole world says it's the greatest thing in the world. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. A week ago when I was announcing a position, everybody was downing it, talking bad about it, saying bad things on Twitter. And I ignore the crickets because I really don't care when I take a trade. I don't care what people's opinions are. I make a trade based on my research and what I think is good for me and my family, and not what is good for you and your family. I take the trade for what I feel. And so yesterday in the close on NEO, I actually added a little bit more position at 590. So my average is right now 613, and of course you could see as soon as it broke out, it ran almost to 7. So I have no desire to sell this stock. I'm going to repeatedly tell you, if this stock, right IPO for a few weeks ago, I was holding as low 8s. Nice run. Well, thank you, B Trades. B Trades just made a comment that he's been holding Viat IPO long from a few weeks ago. He liked my thoughts on it, and here is the stock. Let's put it up 20 days, and the stock is moving through the 9s now. So congratulations. So on the NEO trade, as you can see today, it went very, very well, and everybody in the world now is a hero. But for me, I was asked by Mr. Charles Lee in the room if I should add on strength. I tend not to add on strength. I love to add on weakness. And if the stock pulls to 550, I will add. And if it hits 5, I will add some more. This is a long-term swing trade for me. This is not a day trade for me. So, and as you can see, I do tweet out. I'm very transparent about what I do. As you can see on my Twitter feed, I'm extremely transparent. I like to inform traders of what I'm doing on my positions, especially on swings. Throughout the day, I think I was, you can see right here, I believe I was giving positions on my feed. Trying to find it. Here's one. I think this is when it was at 663, and I did another one this morning when it was at 633. So it's just, I will continue to keep you updated, whether I'm losing or whether I'm making money. Okay? So anyway, congratulations. This is my Twitter feed. It's AJTrader7. My first ever option trade in Stock Hunter. Discord room, took Roku calls, made 100 to 200 buying power. Don't tell me you can't trade with small account. Congratulations to Adam. He made money on $200 account. And just an incredible trade in the Stock Hunter room, 100 options. Let's go into today's action. It was so much fun today. I'm going to show you what it's like to trade 150 to 200 points. I want you to say that to yourself. 200 points, not 100, 200 points. Okay, so I'm going to show you what it's like. Okay, are we ready? Let's start with Wayfair this morning. Okay, now Wayfair took a hit this morning on earnings and some guidance. The thing I know about Wayfair is there's a certain area of resistance they like to buy that stock. And so this morning, we were already at yesterday we closed at 110, and this morning it was getting below 90. I made a buy on a limit order at 90 in pre-market, and I told the traders when I walked in the room, look for a 5 to 10 point move to the upside. I was very clear on that move, and I was very precise, and I told everyone to sell into the pop. And before you know it, the stock made an incredible move to the upside, and I started with about 2 points and just let it rip the rest of the way. And again, if you took 100 shares, 9,000 buying power, or 250 shares, you made $2,500 before your day even started. If you did 100 shares, you made $900. So, and not to say everyone would have stayed the full 10 points, because nobody really does. Let's be realistic. But you could at least score 3 to 4 to 5 points on the trade. I did also give the trade on Twitter live for free because I wasn't in the chat room, and everyone that's in the chat room that follows me, I have to let them know what I'm doing. I will never walk in a room and say, I'm long. I was long. I will never, ever do that. If I'm long something and I didn't mention it or tell people on Twitter or tell the room, then I should just shut up. Okay? That's how I feel. Shut up. All right? And I cannot tolerate after the fact moves. And you'll see a lot of chat rooms, that's what they do. They'll put the worth watching, which is wishy-washy in our world, or they'll put, there's notorious traders that do this all the time. The stock's moved here to 94, and they'll go, yeah, I'm long at 90. And you have to scroll and try to find their entry. And then when you go, where's your entry? Oh, I forgot to put it. Okay. And Another thing I really kind of want to, I've noticed, and I'm not going to point anybody out because I don't need to do that, but on Twitter, you'll get a lot of traders that will give you a P&L, and I really don't want to show a specific one, but whenever I trade, okay, I trade, and I trade with real money, I have never done a trade. I mean, I can't think of a trade because you have all these costs involved. You got 290, 390, 395 per trade. You got ECN charges. You've got the stock is when you sell, you notice it's like 0088. You're like, how did I get a feel like that? And it slays me that I watch P&Ls through the day outside our room where people are just showing literally paper trade accounts where everything is even and equal. And I'm sorry, in the real world, even and equal, no. You want to trade with real money, you'll see, you need to be transparent. And I get so annoyed when I see it. I just laugh. Oh, look how good I did on paper. That, no, doesn't count. It's good for you to learn, and it's important to learn, but you can't throw it out there like, oh, look how much money I made. It doesn't work that way to get your 5 minutes of fame. Okay. So on Wayfair, it turned out to be a great winner. 9.5, 10 points at the open. Really, really good. Next trade we did, Netflix. I announced early in the morning pre-market that I was going to go short at 308. The reason being is you could see the stock gapped up. It closed at 301, had a significant gap up. On 10 months, and I can only remember you should have on screen twice and never on Twitter. Yeah. For me, 10 months ago, I can only remember you showing on screen. And yeah, I don't understand the question, Richard, but I'm sure you'll clarify that. But anyway, this was gapping up 300, 301, and then just made a move to the upside. And I wanted to short the stock. So what I was looking for was a short at 308, and I wanted to pull at the open. I wanted to fill the gap, but I was okay if I got 1, 2, 3 points because I knew it would pull, and the stock ended up really yanking all the way down to 299. And pre-market notes that we were going to go long around 303, 304, and then play it to the upside. So, and that's what I was looking for. And as you could tell, when the tweet came out, the stock continued to climb even higher. Stock has room to go, and this turned out to be, if you look, 7 or 8 to the downside, and roughly about 18 to the upside. So this trade right now is generating about 18 and 8, about 20 points on this one so far. Okay. The next trade that we did in the room, so that was Netflix. Was ABMD, and it's still in play right now in the room. I have the stock going to 370 today, 370. But the pre-market notes, as you can see, what I basically told the chat room to short the stock. It was right down here, and it was item number 8, ABMD. I saw the gap up of 20 points, and I immediately put out a call to short the stock at 365 and add into the push in the open. And I was looking for a 350 pull, a 350 pull. So I want you to watch how this trade worked out in the morning. You could see the gap up. It closed at 344, 345. It gapped up to 300 this morning and $61. So it was almost a 20-point gap. And so I was suggesting, and it made a little bit move in pre-market. I said, let's start scaling in at 365 and look for a pullback to 350. So if you follow this trade and you gave it room, you basically went 350, 365, added on the pop, 370, your average was 367. And even if you covered at 350, which is right here, you still scored 17 points on the trade. If you were smart and got a little bit more, great. Now, once it finally came down and filled the gap, okay, I immediately told the chat room, go long and look for 365 to 370 before the end of the day. But you must be patient on the trade. If you're not patient and you can't handle the pullbacks, you cannot trade this stock. All right? And as you can see, and what I mean about patience, you're going to have these little ups and downs, but you have to give. This is a high profile stock, lots of range, and it trades thin. And so I was adamant that you had to just be patient with the trade. They had great earnings, and it will take some time. As you can see, if you took the long at 355 when I was in the room, before I went on break, I announced, go long 355, should hit 370 before the end of the day. And you can see the stock is now 364.84. So 10 points intermediate trade. The next trade that we did today that stood out, so if you add this trade together, you're talking 20, 30 on the down and 30 pretty much on the up. This trade right here is about 50 minimum points if you just took this trade alone. The next one is a fan favorite of a lot of traders, Spotify. Now, on Twitter, I was telling everyone there's a reason why I like Spotify on weakness. First of all, you have to go when it IPO'd. All right, so let's go back when it IPO'd. And I want to show it to you because I think it's really important that you understand why my call was to go long the stock. Okay? Now, when it IPO'd, it dipped to the 135 area and was just simply getting bought up. They would not let it slip through that. Well, on earnings today, it actually slipped through, but I felt very strong. And based on the history of me watching the stock and how it trades out, I was very clear that the stock would be, you need to buy the stock at 132. Okay? And I want you to see the call this morning. And I was pounding the table. And I have a lot of great traders in here. I've got Ginfizz, PSK, Palmer, Brandy. I got a couple of Brandies in here. Sniper. I got just amazing traders in here. And I really wanted them to understand this trade. It wasn't so much just take it, but understand. And the reason why I believe that the stock was going to rebound and be bought on weakness is, to me, Spotify is the type of company that, to me, would be a great M&A acquisition for some of these big people out there, the Googles, the Apples. This is my personal opinion. I mean, you could just sit there like you're just an idiot. Okay, I'm listening to an idiot talk. It's okay. Call me an idiot. The call was to go long at 132 and take it to 140. So I want you to watch what it's like to trade in the greatest chat room in the world. Okay, with step-by-step guidance. If you took the 132 and I said it would go to 140, I want you to watch how long it takes to hit 140. Are you ready? 132. Here we go. Ding, 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 ding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9.5 minutes. 50 shares, $450. 100 shares, $900. Okay? 200 shares, $1,800. 300 shares, $2,400. And it wasn't that I kept pounding the table, but I was really pounding the table. I was actually on my knees begging traders to take the trade. And I can't say everyone took it because we have a lot of overthinkers in here, and they all think that, oh no, the stock's going to go to zero. And that's the mindset of day traders today. When the stock is down, their immediately thought is, oh, the stock's going to zero, so I can't trade that. It's in their head. You know what it is? They don't know where the bottom is. They don't know where the guidelines are for the stock, where the stock should pretty much base. They don't have the experience. So they're in a trader's mind, it's automatic. It's going to zero, so I'm not going to trade that. But in a professional day trader's mind, like myself, who's been doing this for 15 years, who's been trading Spotify for less than a year, I can tell you straight up, 132 is the buying opportunity. Don't hesitate. Take the trade. Okay? So that turned out to be an incredible, and let's count it, another 10, 15 points. Okay, and if you took the short side of it after I told you 140, you scored another 6 more. I mean, this thing is just a machine of points. Okay, so that one is Spotify. Now I'm going to take you into some really fun trades. Not that those weren't fun enough. And by the way, my call on Talari was spot on again. You know how I love to trade this stock on a daily. You listen to my webinars every day. And true to note, I went to TLRY. He was number 6 on the list. Do not go long at the open. Wait for the pullback to 92 and under. If it comes, go long and bounce it 7 to 10 points. And I want to show it to you. And this thing stopped on a dime at pretty much 93 bucks. Here's the gap up. I told everyone, do not buy that gap. Wait for the pullback. It says it right there. Watch for the bottom curl and go long. And true to the name. I missed it by $1. But if you would have started at 93 and added at 90, your 91.50 average, you would have still scored the 8-9 points on the upside. Great trade. You just had to be patient with it. Let it set itself up. And I'll trade this again tomorrow. So TLRY. Now I'm going to give you a kind of a fun stock. One that you just kind of sit there and go, wow, I wish I could have done that. Okay. This is a stock called IO. It's a cheap stock. So we have a lot of traders that don't have a lot of money to work with. And so what I was looking for on this particular stock, it had earnings, the guidance was down. So what I was looking for was a pull at the open to, I think I was saying 850 or 9, but I wanted everyone to go long the stock to 10 to 1050. And that was my notes, pre-market, 10 to 1050. And I'll show you the call. It was number IO. It was under notables. The stock, if the stock hits 850, go long, and take the stock. This was one of the first notes I did this morning, around 6:05 this morning. I started with this particular trade, and I was pretty adamant. If you went long at 850 at the open, and I even said, look for the pull at open to 850, go long. 850, go long. And the stock hit 11. So if you bought 100 shares, I think that, what is that, 8,000 buying power, right? Is that right? Or is it 800? I think it's $800. 850 bucks. 100 shares. So you only need, basically, if you break that down, think about it. You need a $200 account, $2 in your checking account. 6 times buying power is $1,000. So you could have took 100 shares on your $100 and made 2 points. Do you realize that? With a $100 today, you could have made $200 in profit if you just read the notes and you executed the trade. Okay? This is Awesomecalls Trading. Okay? After it hit 1050, I didn't really care if it hit 11. I mean, if you want to say the whole route, that's fine. As far as I was concerned, 2 points is enough. All right? Now let's do one more trade. One more. Okay? And this one will blow your mind. Okay, this is going to blow your mind. This one is just going to sit back and go, okay, when do I join? This one had great earnings. And I loved the gap up. I loved it. But before we start running the stock and another leg up, I kind of need a gap fill at first. I'm really adamant on certain stocks that need a gap fill. Not everything will gap fill, but when I come in and I'm looking at 30, 40, 50, 60 stocks out there, I'm eyeballing ones that I know I can get a quick gap fill. I'm just all over it. And it's experience. It's 15 years of day trading, 5 years in the chat room. We've been open. All right. This is not fly by night, throw a dart. No, this is right on. This is what's going to happen to the stock. And this is why people pay good money to be in this room. All right. So my thought this morning was short the 30, take it down to $27 and under, and go long. So let me show you the call. And I'll show you how it worked out. Okay, here's the call. Off the notes. Right there. And it says, I'll read it to you how I wrote it. The stock is gapping up for, I like a pop to 30, scaling short, gap filled to 27 and under, go long. If it pulls to 27 and under, cover your short and go long. Now let's do the trade. Ready? Ding, 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 ding. Stock pops to 30. There's your entry. Take 200 shares short, 6,000 buying power. Ding, 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 ding. And look what happened. It hit 27.20 in 13 minutes of the opening bell. It ended up flooring out at 26.50, give or take. So what does that mean to you as a trader? 200 shares, $30 short, 3 points to downside, $600, and you're done in 13 minutes of work. 15 minutes tops. You go back to bed. So when you see tweets in the morning from some incredible traders in here, and here's my Twitter feed again. When you see tweets in the morning of traders that just execute and kill it before the market even opens, that's what they're doing. And I want you to just to see just a basic how it started. I mean, boom. Sean Smith, right there. 5 points on Wayfair. He was done. He went to bed. Okay? Ozark. All right? Chris S. Remember Chris S. a couple days ago was struggling, and I wrote to him personally on Twitter. Right? He made $500 in 5 minutes. See that? Scotty J. FND. 30 to 26. Where do these great traders get these ideas? From Awesome Call pre-market list. And the list goes on. Look at Adolfo. He was struggling 2 weeks ago. He's on his 8th day of greenness. This is what we do. We stick by you when you're hurting. All right? It's not about money or the sub fee in this room. It's about your success. Each one of these traders have struggled. We've done extra things for them to keep them on board. I remember Chad was struggling. Look at him now. Just killing the short. Look at that. 384 entry, exit 6 on the options. Excuse me? On a Netflix short. That was in the 100 option room. Admead, look at this. Money, money, money. Doesn't use a lot, but makes good money. And that's why I'm so proud of these traders. My friend, Mr. Kim, another winner. Spotify, off the bottom, hit 140 per guidance. Netflix, 3 times a winner. And he's done for the day. All right? This is what you get in our room every single day. Okay? So I have to retweet this great option hunter here. All right. So that is today's webinar. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for being a part. And again, I cannot stress enough that you don't need a lot of money to make money in this room. And here's a perfect example of a client who doesn't have much money, but he made $100 on a $200 buying power account. Now, if that doesn't motivate you, I don't know what will. For $6 a day to come in this room, believe me, we got you. Okay? All right. So thank you very much for joining. If you want to be a part of the room for tomorrow, get the list. I'll have it all ready for you. Just come on in, and I will see you tomorrow. Just sign up at awesomecallstrading.com. Boom, you're in. If you want to be in the option room and trade options with the great Hunter Options, just go to his website right here. This is his Twitter feed. and just simply click on his 100 options right there, and there you are. Just click and sign up. If you want both chat rooms, it's $2.99, and you just scroll down and instant access. And he's on Discord, $1.99 for his room, $2.99 if you want both my app chat room and his room. Okay, so and there you go. So be good, be well, and God bless. And I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you.